Sean from the American Soccer Coach. This video is going to be about what player I consider the best player in the United States that is currently under 18 years old. My idea of this video is essentially what player I think has the most potential to go the furthest with soccer, say 10 years from now, when they're more, like say when they're in their prime at 26, 27, 28 years old. So I thought this would be an interesting topic. I mean, everybody has their say. I know a lot of people think George Bello, for example, is 17 years old and he's already made his MLS debut with Atlanta. So I think a lot of people probably think that Bello is the guy who is going to have the most potential. I don't agree with that, and it's nothing against Bello. I think he will be a very good professional. But I want to get my thoughts on who I think will be and why and where they can go with soccer, what the strengths and weaknesses are, the highest potential they have, and the lowest potential they have, in my opinion. So I grew up in California, and I've actually seen this player play since I believe 11 years old, and he played up almost 2 years up when he was playing as a youth player before he went to an MLS academy. So he was playing almost 2 years up, and he was still, one of the most, if not the most impressive player on the field when he stepped on the field. So I was lucky enough to see him, throughout a lot of his youth years, and he was always super impressive. And I still hold the same opinion, whatever it is, 5 or 6 years later. That player is Efrain Alvarez, or Efra, as people call him. If you don't know about Efra he plays for the Galaxy's reserve team, and he was voted USL Young Player of the Year. Efra is 16 years old, and he has been playing recently for the Mexican youth national team. His position, he's mainly a number 10. He's also played as like a second striker, but I think his best position is as a number 10. Comparison in terms of like what professional player I see in Efra, Riquelme, 100% Juan Roman Riquelme. And I've never said this about any player I've seen in the United States before. At MLS level, at academy level, nothing. Efra's unique, and he's just such a unique player. But like out of that team and out of the players I saw when they were young, I saw Efra, I saw Alex Mendez, who's now at Freiburg in their academy, and I saw Uli Yanez, who's played for the Galaxy reserve team and is rumored to possibly be going to Germany. Alex has great free kick accuracy. He's really hardworking, technically very strong player, mentally tough, can connect play really well. Uli, great dribbling, good with both feet, works really hard off the ball, has improved a lot over the years in his combination play, and has become more of like not just like a winger that can go 1v1, but also a winger that can keep the ball well and can use both feet. So Uli's improved in all aspects. I think that what makes Efra interesting is I think that Uli and Alex have both improved a lot in their weaknesses. And because of that, I'm not saying that these guys are going to have the highest of high in terms of their careers, but I think that there's going to be I think that I have a solid feeling that both Alex and Uli are going to have very solid professional careers. With Efra, potential wise, I think Efra can be better than both of them. Alex is already 18, Uli is 17, but Efra is only 16 right now. His strengths as a player, his ability to read the game and just like process it like one or two steps ahead of every other player. And that's what makes him such a unique number 10. He can thread a pass, he can pull off a shot where he will literally like angle the defender in a way where he'll shield the goalie and he'll just pull it around and the goalie won't even see it and he'll finish. Which you don't see many professionals doing that, never mind 16-year-olds. His speed of play, his mental speed of thought is incredible. He's a good finisher with both feet. Technique, his technical ability is very good. He has this kind of swagger about him where he'll pull off a quick mag, and it's not even like fancy. It's just that he does it, and it's just like what needs to be done to complete the play. And he has like this swagger about him. It's very unique. So yeah, technique, speed of play, mental thought, like his speed of thought, free kicks are good, can finish with both feet. It makes him very unique. But I think that the main thing that really sets him apart is how fast he can think. And that's what makes him a true number 10 and reminds me of a Riquelme. There's even times where he'll float out of a game at academy level, and you won't see him for 5 or 10 minutes, and then he just pulls off one play where you're like, out of the 22 field players on the field, or out of the 22 players on the field, he's the only player that will be able to do something like with that audacity, just because his talent level. Weaknesses. I think there's two main things. I think that his work ethic defensively is something that he can improve on, and I think the other thing is, I mean, to me, he's a 10. He's a pure number 10. He could probably play as a second striker, but you get like especially like a lot of modern midfielders. You know, they could play out wide, they could play on the right, they could play on the left, they could play as a 10. I think Evra's mainly an attacking midfielder, and I can't see him dropping as a 6 or an 8. I think he's really a true 10. So he's not as versatile. Highest potential, like the very highest I could see Efra going with his career. He's a Champions League player. If he makes the most out of his career, I honestly think he's a regular player for a Champions League caliber team, like a world-class player, like Pulisic level. So that to me is, you know, Efra, it is like, if Efra made the very most of his potential, he's a Champions League player that, you know, is regularly starting. Obviously, he's playing for Mexico right now at youth level, but regularly starting for either the US or Mexico, whoever he chooses, and he's playing for a Champions League team and getting like really good minutes. Lowest potential, and this is what worries me, is he playing as a true number 10? Like, is he playing his correct position? Efra, like, he's perfect for a possession-based team, but if the game is very direct and the ball is in the air a lot, like, Efra's not going to do well compared to a very athletic 6'2" player that's going to press the ball really hard. So Efra, I think, needs a playing style that's going to fit him and make the most of his abilities. He also needs to get playing time. So, like, right now at the Galaxy, like at 16, I mean, not a lot of 16-year-olds are starting regularly for first teams, but like right now the Galaxy have Gio Dos Santos and probably even Sebastian Lletget that are probably playing as a 10 above Efra. So he's not going to play that much. So I'm hoping that by the time he's 18 or 19, he's going to be able to get those minutes, and especially getting those minutes as a true number 10. And again, he needs a team that's going to fit his style of play. And if he doesn't, Efra might just be your run-of-the-mill MLS player that doesn't even, like, not even an all-star, if those things aren't properly leveraged. I'm hoping and I believe that he has the potential where, if he has the right club situation, he can be a Champions League caliber player. And I'm hoping that way somebody can look at this video 6 years from now and we're talking about Efra going to Europe. You know, hopefully he's already in Europe, and he's worth, you know, 20, 30, 40 million dollars. So again, I'm basing this video off of not necessarily who I think is going to be the best player in the next year or two, but you know, when they're in their prime, who I think has the most potential to be, you know, a Champions League player or the highest level player they could be. To me, that player is Efra. He has something special. He has something unique in our country. Even in our country, when you have a very high level player, we haven't had a true number 10 that has played at a world-class level. Like, even the players that have played at a very high level, like Pulisic is more of a winger. Dempsey is more of like a forward. Donovan, you know, Landon Donovan played a lot of times as a right midfielder, left midfielder. Efra is a true number 10, and he brings this kind of Riquelme-esque play to him, which makes him unique. And then I guess the final concern is not only in MLS, where, you know, the play could be a little direct depending on what team, but even in Europe, the true number 10 is being lost in Europe because the need to constantly pressure the ball, and the need for like a physically fit player that's at 100% has become like increasing over the years. And so I'm hoping that Efra can play as a true number 10, and I hope he can improve in those areas as well. But I'm hoping a team can give him the, you know, that responsibility in a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, where he was really the guy pulling the strings. If he can, this kid has a massive potential. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know who you think is the best player in the United States right now, under 18 years old. And if you enjoyed this video or if you learned something, please retweet. If you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, like the video. I greatly appreciate it. Take care.